For Claire Howard and her mother Sue, life can be a bit of a struggle.
Can you reach me up?
They have achondroplasia, a kind of dwarfism. Although Claire is 11 years old, she's only 3'9" tall. Her mother Sue is only 4'4", and that's as tall as Claire will ever be.
All right then, here we go. One. Smile, Claire. That's it.
But today, Claire has come to the Children's Hospital, Sheffield, to see doctors about an operation to lengthen her legs. If she goes ahead, the treatment will last 3 painful years, but it could change her life.
That's it.
People call me, midget and dwarves and things like that. And I want to have the operation because I want to do things that I can't do now. And drive a car.
It's a big breakthrough. It's fantastic. I mean, every day, even now at my age, I'm coming across things that I cannot do. And, it's very annoying, but of course there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to get around it, but it's so limited. I thought she'd just think, oh, well, that's the way I'm going to be, and she would do it. But obviously it's turned the other way around. She's seen me standing next to other people. She's seen me doing things that other people don't do, and she thinks this is what I am going to do when I'm fully grown, when I'm a young lady.
Baby Emma has spent most of her short life in hospital.
Could you pop her on the bed, do you think, and let me have a wee look? You need to unlash that vest for me.
Emma was born with abnormal abdominal organs. As a consequence, she's always at risk from fluid building up in her abdomen and needs constant monitoring.
Well, can I have a look at your tummy, please, miss? And that's nice and hollow. And so is that nice and hollow?
The first innocuous signs that something was wrong with Emma began when she was only a few weeks old.
When she was 2 days old, she started going yellow, and they just presumed it was like just babe jaundice, so they left it for 10 to 14 days. And they said normally it goes around that time for babies. So after 14 days, she'd still got jaundice, so took her to hospital. And they did a load of scans and blood tests and things, and they found out it were a liver that were at fault.
Emma has a condition called biliary atresia. If I just tell you that as I feel her tummy now, the edge of her liver is there, and it's hard. So the liver's enlarged, and it's also in an unusual position, being centrally in her abdomen rather than over on the right-hand side. Her liver is showing the signs of progressive liver disease. And although you would not think that to look at her at the moment, apart from her yellowness, the liver isn't working perfectly, and in time it will cease to function adequately to support life and health. So it's important that she gets a liver transplant well before that.
In the meantime, all that doctors can do is try to stem the inevitable advance of her disease.
We've got to keep her tip-top, keep her nutrition good, her chest good, so she's in the very best possible state for a transplant when a liver becomes available.
Orthopaedic surgeon Mike Sarley is Britain's leading expert on leg lengthening for children with dwarfism, and his patients come from all over the country. Claire has been seeing him for 3 years. But now she's reached the final stage when she and her mother must decide whether to go ahead with the operation.
Can you hang on 2 minutes and I'll see you first?
Okay.
Okay, lovely.
What we've offered Claire is surgery in 2 parts. First of all, to lengthen the shin bone. It's called the tibia, and that will be the first stage, and then to lengthen the femur. The aim is to try and get a fixator on the leg and break the bone at 2 sites to lengthen by 10 centimetres. And the bone looks absolutely straight, and there are no abnormalities on the X-ray to suggest a problem. Clinically, presumably, she's no problems.
Clinically, there are no problems, no.
These are computer-generated photographs that show Claire as she is now, and the effects of lengthening by 7.5 centimetres or 3 inches in this middle picture, and then the effect of lengthening by 20 centimetres or 8 inches and this one here. And which one do you think would be nice to have?
That one.
When we lengthen legs, what we do is to cut the bone, having attached a fixator, and a fixator is a bar on the outside of the leg with pins that go into the bone. And if the pins are placed either side of the cut, and then the bar is stretched, the pins and the bone stretch with it. And if that process is very, very slow, then new bone can form in the gap, and that's what constitutes a lengthened limb. Deciding to have your legs lengthened is a major, major step to take.
And Rodri had the same operation that you're going to have in September he had last week. So, do you want to look at his fixators? Can we show you fixators? Ta-da! He's not quite a week after his operation yet. Rodri's having both his ankles lengthened, his ankle's been broken in 2 places, so he's lengthening in 2 places.
Wow.
We've started one big thing today. He's started actually doing his lengthening, so he's been doing the turns on his fixators. So 4 turns a day and he gets a millimetre longer. You reach that one? Doing both your top one. That's it, and then a nice one, straight quarter turn. That's it.
That's it.
Brilliant. For you and Rodri, you know, you're going to have your fixators for a long time. If Rodri's having his to do 10 centimetres of length, he's going to have his fixators for 300 to 400 days, you know, a year.
How
much length are we going for?
Well, 5 inches on this leg.
Yeah.
And then when I'm up here, another 5.
10 inches?
10 inches.
With his ankles lengthened, we're looking at perhaps 4'8". If he goes on to have his thighs lengthened, then we're looking at 5 foot, which is, you know...
Well, this is it. That's what Claire says, just to get into the 5 foot is the breakthrough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. When I heard about the operation, was you nervous? Or? Yeah. It's more nervous before than after.
You'll have to bear with me for this because it's my first time, you see.
You'll be fine.
Emma's disease is already so advanced that her body is unable to absorb the nutrition she needs.
Emma is having nutrition in a fluid form and it can be administered straight into a vein. This nutrition contains all the protein, carbohydrates, vitamins, fats that you would need, and you could live on this.
Despite all the care the children's can give her, Emma's worsening condition means that her chances of surviving a liver transplant are diminishing all the time. From now on, Emma must have intravenous food every day in addition to her normal feeding. Her parents must learn to connect the feed so that she can continue her wait for a liver at home.
So I hold it that way.
I'd hold it that way, and then air always rises to the top, so you can get that air out. That's it. So as it's coming past now, just give that a gentle tap if you can at the same time. She'll have air trap there. But it's extremely important to get the air out of the line. If Emma was to receive a large amount of air, then it could kill her.
And that's one of those main worries. A bit like having a car, knowing what you can and what you can't touch. It's a bit nervous after a bit because you're frightened of touching something when you shouldn't be touching it.
Yeah, just click on there, it's quite secure.
That's still off that until we're ready to...
Well done. I think you did really well.
Right, Emma.
Although time is running out, the wait for a suitable liver could still be a long one.
I know. You're tired, aren't you?
Emma's been waiting about 3 months now for a transplant. But it's just a case of waiting for one that's going to be right for her. Because like before, they said that they could have had an adult's liver and cut it down. But because of how small she is, I think they're looking for somebody around about the same age as her, or somebody at least up to about 12. We sort of knew that Emma would have a long time to wait for it. But like now, after 3 months or so, it's sort of getting a bit nervous, wondering when it's going to happen.
Helen's already had her ankles lengthened and she's in the middle of having her thighs lengthened, Claire. So she's had fixators on the bottom, and we just, she's come in for some physio and perhaps to have one of the fixators altered a little bit on her thigh bone.
After 2.5 years of lengthening in 2 stages, Helen Short's legs have grown by 9 inches.
The 4 inches she gained first time round made such a difference.
Yeah, I know. It's the everyday, not just the basic, you know, it's the everyday life.
Never opened the door for herself. Somebody else had to open the door for her. She can do that now.
You can see the difference. The legs, you can
it's
see.
tremendous.
Yeah,
she was little
see.
and she'd got these little bowed legs. And, oh yes, her legs were really small and fat. And,
Yeah.
Helen's found she's got one problem at the moment that she didn't have before. She can't put her own socks on anymore. Can't reach her feet.
Oh. It's a very long time, very long operation. So there's an awful lot of aftercare. I mean, I've given up my job. The whole house, you know, has to be as adapted, like bed settee, because of course it's not going upstairs. And the whole family is affected. It's 2 years out of, I would say, our life, directly. Definitely out of Claire's life.
People think it's a long time, but if the days go past fast, it doesn't sound long, but if the days don't fly past, it does sound long.
If a new liver is found for Emma, her operation will be carried out at the Specialist Transplant Centre at Addenbrooke's Hospital in Cambridge. But any new liver would only be viable for about 16 hours.
So I've got issue with bleeper. We'll have to carry it here with me all the time. If bleeper goes off, they might say, oh, there's a liver for you. We can shoot down, because it's about a 2.5 hours drive, and get halfway down and it might go off again and find a phone, and then they'll say, oh, I'm sorry, but due to certain circumstances, the liver's no good for you. Or we could even get right down to hospital and then she can be there on the table ready, and then they can say it again straight away. I'm more frightened for Emma, in one sense. But if she's quite poorly and a transplant came up, and you think, well, we'll go ahead because she's poorly and it's not going to get any better. And then that's like more risk on operation. So there's more risk of losing Emma or her not coming out of it as she should.
Great. That's an easy way to get up, isn't it? Right. Shall we pop your shoes off a minute? And then we'll go through things. Are you 10?
11.
You're 11 now, because we first met when you were 8, and we had a long chat, and I can remember meeting Mum then, having a chat about your condition of achondroplasia. And then when we met in September '92, you really weren't sure you wanted an operation. You're fairly sure now?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you lie down for me? And we'll have a look at your legs. Now then.
She doesn't get any problems at all, aching-wise.
Yeah. So you've had no aching at all there in your legs. And do you get any back pain? No? Okay.
Only when I pull a muscle in my leg.
Yeah, okay. Well, that looks fine. So, the other thing we ought to talk about is how much length we're going to try and get for you. Have you had a discussion with Claire?
Well, would you say 8 inches?
I
In
think
the end,
that's
you know,
very realistic. It's not the longest length we could go for.
But she's not too bad height. I mean, she's 4. Well, she will be 4'4".
That's right.
Fully grown.
Yeah.
So 8 inches in the end.
Will make her a very nice height for a young lady. Yeah, that sounds fine to me. So we'll see you for your operation. Bye.
Okay. All right. A lot of it is, why do we have to go through this pain and agony? A lot of achondroplasias, I think, are not having this operation because I think, why should they do it for the society? What does the society do for us? But there again, if you want to be in the society, unfortunately, you have to do things to get on, to get the good jobs, to be accepted.
It's 3 a.m. A liver that might be suitable for Emma has finally been found, and she's been rushed to the transplant centre at Addenbrooke's Hospital, Cambridge. During the night, she must undergo a battery of tests to prepare her for the life-saving operation.
Oh, dear.
doing?
Such a predictor.
Emma. Okay.
We need to make sure there's enough blood available for the operation, because we will lose some blood during the operation, so we need to have some cross-match blood for that. And we just need to check the actual status of the liver to see how functional it is.
It's still not clear whether the new liver is in a good enough condition to transplant into Emma. If it is, the operation will take place at 7 in the morning.
I just feel like all knotted up.
He was just a bit frightened because as she is now, it's took us all this time to build her up. And getting this is what she's looked for a bit. And we know that she's going to go right back down again once she has transplant. Most frightening part is if it rejects straight away, and we know that's like, no, she's going to be on emergency list then.
So it's just a case of waiting now till 7 o'clock. No pressure.
Emma's test results are good, and the new liver is acceptable, so the doctors have decided to go ahead with the operation.
It's not going to need to put her to sleep. How is she? Hello?
Till then.
You're right there, Button. Okay, and they just put a new little tube in there, haven't they?
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm going to do now is just give her something to make her go half asleep so we can take her into theatre. No, she won't go completely to sleep. So she'll just become rather dreamy.
Right.
What do you think of him?
Not as bad as him, is it? Never seen anything like that before, have you?
Let's get that flash through.
Oh. What's he doing?
Should we take her while she's like that, then?
Yeah.
And then we'll bring her back to you. It might just to take her. It's going to be a little while. Right. We'll bring her back to you then.
All right.
All right. We'll look after her.
This way.
The operation will be one of the most difficult ever attempted at the centre. Emma's small size, abnormal anatomy and badly diseased liver will mean hours of painstaking work for the team of 3 surgeons and 2 anaesthetists. Emma has only a 50% chance of surviving the operation. Meanwhile, back at Sheffield Children's Hospital, Claire's big day has finally arrived.
Thank you very much. Yes. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for the card. See you soon.
Bye then. Bye. See ya.
Oh, lovely.
Are you nervous now?
Yeah, I am very. Yeah, it's just waiting now. The last hour after waiting about 5 years, I just want it done and get her back. So, yeah.
Claire, what are you thinking? Thinking nothing will go wrong. You got a wrist label on, Claire? Right, Claire Howard 132214. 132214. Right, 2 medicines to make you feel a bit sleepy. Straight down then. Is it horrid? Looks like washing up liquid, doesn't it? And that one. All right then. You gone? Good girl.
I've just spoken to Mr. Friends, who was having a quick break, and he said everything is going according to plan at the moment. Okay, it's obviously because she's little, it's difficult, but there's nothing abnormally happening at all at the moment. She's stable, and the new liver is going in fairly shortly. It is going to be quite a few more hours. I don't think it's going to be an early finish, but there's nothing worryingly to report at the moment at all. It's all going according to plan.
That's good to hear.
Okay.
Do you feel able to get up on the bed, or do you want me to lift you up? It's heavy, I warn you. Jeez, it's so much.
Can you grab a pillow for me? All right, sweetie.
Yeah, just one or two.
Just one. All right, sweetie. Do you want to sit up so you can see where you're going? No. Okay. Look at it there and with you. Okay, sweet.
Yeah. It's all right, I think, yeah? It's okay.
Got it? Thanks, Deb.
That's the line of the screws, is along that line. Then the first break in the bone will be at this level. Planning is absolutely critical when you're working in limited distances like this. The most critical of this critical stage is the insertion of the first screw. Every other screw is dependent on this one. It's the job now to exchange the drill for a screw. Everyone ready? Yeah. Legs supported.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the first screw in position. We just screen the ankle now when you're ready.
Their legs, to me, are beautiful. I mean, you know, she's perfect to me, obviously. I mean, with being no pain, like I say, she's perfect. I mean, you know, activity-wise. So, with swimming and biking, she's got beautiful legs. And I know they're going to be heavily scarred afterwards. I know that.
Right, the next critical one is to put this in the midpoint. Okay, folks?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll tighten it up.
You've got a T handle, please.
The idea of being limited in every sphere of your life by these fixators, by the pain of the operation, and then by the sometimes the infections that you get afterwards, does mean that it takes a lot of courage to undertake it. So now we've got both fixators on, and the last stages of the operation are to break the tibia bone, which we do with a surgeon's chisel. The thing that I can't express well enough in words is the first time a child gets up, and instead of being 4 feet, they're 4 feet 10, and the impact it has on their confidence, and the shape of their legs changes so dramatically, they become very proud.
They're still operating. They're having quite a few problems at the moment. They've had some problems with perfusing the liver, and they're trying to sort them out now. When you put the liver in and you take all the clamps off, it's always a tricky point, and things can go wrong then. And obviously we've encountered quite a few problems at that stage.
Get me an 8.5, please.
Hello. All right? What's the matter? Are you in pain?
It will take Claire several days to recover from her operation. After that, the lengthening process can begin.
Want to look at this end? Yeah, go on then. Is it in plaster?
Oh. It's back stuff, you know, just plaster on the back bit.
Yeah.
Just a bit of bleeding, but a lot of that I think is because these are actually wet, and I think it's
Just soaked it
spread
up.
it. Yeah, I think that's it. You can see there. Okay.
Right, okay.
All right.
Lovely.
And just cut the drains.
Back at Addenbrooke's, Emma has survived her operation. It took 12.5 hours, and although the new liver is in place, it's too big, so the surgeons have not yet been able to close her wound. The operation took 3 times longer than usual, and Emma lost 6 times her entire volume of blood. For now, Emma is stable. The next few days will be critical.
Ignore the blanket. Have you had everything explained to you, what everything does and so on? She's got a little drip here which can give fluids through. She's got drains here which drain any sort of excess blood loss, which I haven't been very much at all of. She's got another drip here.
Like Spaghetti Junction, isn't it? It's just nice to see her again and have a touch and feel. I mean, she's only been gone like a day.
Yeah.
Mrs. Karen Newton and everybody on Ward 4 at Sheffield have just called through and asked about Emma.
Oh,
so
right.
I've just given them an update on what's been happening and they send their regards.
Oh, great.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You don't know which way to put, you don't know how to put your hands.